Hello, welcome to our 45-minute yoga class. Thank you for joining me, being here with me today, or whatever day in the future that it is. We are going to drop right in to make the most of our practice, coming to a comfortable cross-legged position, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe you bring a pillow or a folded blanket up underneath the hips. And we close the eyes, starting to tap into the breath, inhaling in through the nose, down into the belly. Bringing an awareness to the breath, noticing if the breath is coming in full and easy, or maybe it's a little bit more of a challenge today. Shallow breaths. There's no right answer. We're just observing our body today, moving that awareness out from the lungs to the rest of the body, noticing any areas that may be tense or tight. Maybe you're having some sharp or consistent pain or tension that's calling out to you. Maybe you are able to notice some things you weren't aware of before. But now that we've created some space for quiet and stillness, they have room to be heard. Feel free at any time to start playing with the breath, making the exhales longer than the inhales. Maybe you start to take on a more audible breath, breathing from the back of the throat. Notice what your body wants to do on the inhales and what it wants to do on the exhales. Maybe it naturally feels good to lift the chest on the inhale, drawing the low back, pubic bone in line with the hips, lifting out of the sits bones. Maybe on the exhale, it feels good to let the shoulders grow heavy, let something loosen in the chest. Maybe it feels good to engage the abdomen and feel the strength of your own foundation. Let's be here for 5 more breath cycles, really big inhales. Down into the belly, maybe sending the breath beyond the belly, down into the pelvis. Long, slow exhale. Maybe feeling the pelvic floor lift as the belly button draws back towards the spine. Last one. And at the end of your exhale, we'll gently open the eyes. We drop the hands down off the knees to come right to the outside of the hips as we swing the arms wide on the inhale, coming up overhead, biceps by the ears. We inhale at the top, exhale, palms flip externally as we start to let them float down at the sides with control. Starting to operate and explore all the planes of motion. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, palms flip. Dropping down by our sides. Inhale, up overhead. Exhale, palms drop down at our sides. Last one, inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, palms flip towards the front of the body as we start to bend at the hips, dropping the belly right into that triangle in between the heels and the pelvis. So we start to float the hands down, reaching far out in front of us. Hips stay nice and heavy. Elbows can stay straight if that feels good. Or we drop the elbows and the forearms down towards the earth as we drop the forehead and crown. Hips stay nice and heavy. Nice full inhales and really long, slow exhales. We start to feel the room that we're creating in the low back and the hips. We're here for one more inhale. Exhale, we stay nice and low as we crawl both hands over, both arms over to the outside of the left leg. Left forearm comes down to the mat, so elbows right by the outside of the left hip. Fingers are pointing away from the body. We inhale, wrapping right arm around the side body, bicep comes by the ear, fingers are reaching out over towards the left. Right hip is nice and heavy. We're active in the right arm, so we're engaged at the elbow, so we're not just dumping our weight here. We're pressing into the left elbow, lifting out of that shoulder, opening the chest and the front body. One more big inhale. Exhale, right arm is going to drop down by the left. Before we drop the forehead facing down towards the earth, and we stay nice and low, rolling back through center to take it to the other side. So first we get the right forearm in place, elbows right to the outside of the right hip. Fingers are pointing away from us, palm is face down. Left arm, we swing the left arm, wrapping that shoulder around the side body. Belly button, chest, gaze, all pointing out towards the front body, the front of the mat or front of your space. Exhale, left arm drops down by the right as we come back through center. And use the heels of our palms, strengthen our arms to bring us back up to an inverted position. Left heel is going to stay at the midline as we send the right foot pointing towards the back edge of the mat. So arch comes down to the mat, inner thigh, inner knee on the right leg is down at the mat. So cheerleader pose. I hate that term, but it's the simplest way to describe what this is. So we inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, right arm drops to the left knee, left arm drops behind us in space. We actively draw the belly button towards the top of the left thigh. Gaze reaches out over past the left shoulder. Maybe we drop left ear to left shoulder, exaggerating the stretch in the side body or the side of the neck. We're pressing down and active through the right arch, right inner thigh, inner knee. One more inhale. And on the exhale, both hands come to the outside of the left thigh, touching the mat as we start to crawl, our belly draping over the top of the left thigh. Elbows come right underneath the shoulder. Gaze either comes straight down or we walk ourselves all the way down, forehead kisses the mat. Or maybe you stack palm over palm, fist over fist. One more inhale. Exhale, we're coming out the way that we came, using the heels of our hands, strengthen our arms before unraveling back to center. If it feels nice to take a little counter pose, twisting gently over to the right, you can do so here. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and switch our legs to take it to the other side. So inhale, both arms come up overhead, biceps are by the ear. Exhale, we twist the belly button towards the right thigh. Left hand drops to the right knee. Right hand drops behind us. Gaze reaches out past the right shoulder. Right elbow crease, we're rotating externally, so it's facing away from the body, encouraging the type of rotation in the shoulder that we want. Maybe dropping right ear to right shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale, both palms come to the outside of the right thigh. Hands kiss down to the mat. We start to crawl. Belly over the right thighs. Elbows are right underneath the shoulders. Palms face down or stacked. Whatever feels good. One more breath cycle. Good. On your next exhale, we'll use our hands to walk us almost all the way up. Palms are going to stay at the mat. So you can watch me do this rotation to bring us to a tabletop, or you can just mix it all together. Come back through center and unravel by swinging the legs off to one side and meet us in table. Otherwise, if we're here, shoulders are right under, over the elbows, elbows are over the wrists, gaze is straight down. We use the back foot to press ourselves up, drawing the right foot back in line with the right hand, or right knee in line with the right hand. So it's this gentle twist. It should feel really natural when you start moving to twist the body that way, meeting us in tabletop. So when we get here, if it feels good to kind of wake up the feet, maybe tapping the tops of the feet against the mat. And then we find some stillness, tops of the feet to the mat or toes curled. If the toes are curled, we're aiming to reach that pinky toe all the way down to the earth. Pressing into the fingertips. We drop the belly, open the chest, tail lifts, gazes forward. Exhale, we tuck the tail, rounding through, pressing away from the mat. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, we round through. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through. Inhale brings you to tabletop. Right leg comes out perpendicular to the long edge of the mat, so ankle is in line with the knee, in line with the hip. Right toes are pointing forward. If that's not comfortable, you can let the toes kind of point out at an angle. Otherwise, we're going to take a few cat cows here. Might not be big moves depending on how tight your hips are, but we're going to help to warm up the hips. So inhale, we drop the belly, open the chest, lift the tail. Exhale, round through, so tucking the tail, dropping the crown. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, we round through. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through, last one. Inhale brings you back to tabletop position as we sweep that right leg behind us, pivoting on the back foot. Arch of the right foot is in line with the left toes. Right toes are pointing out towards the right side of the mat. We inhale, lifting right arm up to the ceiling. If that feels unstable, you can always bring the left foot at an angle, drawing it off the mats, bringing the heel right underneath that left glute. Big inhale. Exhale, we reach right fingers, right arm towards the front of the mat. Exhale, pivots and rotates you back, hand to mat. We draw the right knee back into our tabletop position. If you need a moment to sink the hips back onto the heels, maybe gentle rocking side to side, please do so. Otherwise, we will all meet there in a minute after we do the other side. So left leg comes out long. And we start to move. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through. If you have really tight hips, inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. You may feel some extreme tightness, maybe even some cramping right here in the outside of the hip. If you do, that's okay. You can back off a little bit, even drawing the hip in a little, bending at the knee. You'll get that same effect that we want in the hip without it being uncomfortable and painful. Exhale, round through. Let's do one more because I forgot where we were at. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through. Inhale draws you back to neutral tabletop position as we sweep that leg behind us, drawing the arch in line with the right toes as we move the left toes towards the left side of the mat. If you need more stability, again, you can draw the right toes off the edge of the mat, bringing the heel right underneath the right glute. And we draw the pelvis in line with the knees. Left arm comes up to the ceiling. One more inhale. Exhale, we reach left fingers towards the front of the mat, left bicep by left ear. Exhale, we pivot, hand to mat, drawing the left knee into our tabletop position. Big toes come together, knees as wide as the yoga mat. We sink the hips back for a rest. Maybe taking a gentle, actually, yes, let's all do that. So keeping the elbows straight, gaze is right in between the thumbs. We would gently rock the hips back side to side with the knees nice and wide. Maybe get some sways moving. Until you start to make your way all the way down. Extended child's pose, forehead drops to the mat. Inhaling, we feel the spine stretching out through the crown, out through the tail. And softening, settling on the exhale. One more inhale. Exhale presses us up. Knees draw underneath the hips. We curl the toes, stay for the inhale. Exhale, hips are coming up high for our downward facing dog, or our first downward facing dog. So feel your way into this position, and I'll kind of cue you here to make sure that you are already doing what you intuitively know to do. Elbow creases are pointing towards each other or rotated towards the front of the mat. We're pressing away from the mat with the hands lifting out of the shoulders. Biceps are right by the ears. Shoulder blades are wide across the back body. Belly button is tight to the spine, and then belly drops towards the tops of the thighs. Toes are pointed ever so slightly in towards the midline, externally rotating the hips up towards the sky. Knees are as straight or as bent as they need to be to keep the spine in alignment, long line from crown to tail. And we feel the low back release with each exhale. If you ever need a break here, as we're holding this for longer periods, feel free to drop down to the knees if you need to before coming back up for your downward dog. We're here for 2 more breath cycles. Last one, big inhale. Long exhale. Your next exhale will meet up at the top of the mat, feet to hands, whether you're getting there in one big step, a hop, a bunch of little steps. It's totally up to you. And we'll meet together in a forward fold. Maybe gently swaying side to side when you get there. And we'll find a moment of stillness. Inhale, we start to roll, root to rise, all the way up to mountain. Arms come wide, meet up overhead, palms kiss together, and descend at the heart space. Long exhale. Inhale, arms come up overhead, palms release, flipping to swan dive into our forward fold. Inhale lifts us halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we start to roll back up to mountain. When we do, we're transferring weight into the left foot. Right foot lifts off the ground. We bring the knee right above the ankle. Palms facing forward. We're pressing into the left foot, lifting out of the hip. Left knee is engaged, belly's engaged. One more breath here. And then we're going to play around with this. If you fall, that's okay. One of the great things about yoga is teaching us how to get back up again safely in a safe space on our mat. But also, you're at home. I'm not going to see if you fall. Nobody's going to see if you fall. So this is a great opportunity to practice. So big inhale. So we've got foot elevated off the ground. Toes are pulled towards the shin. We're firm and strong in our left leg. On our exhale, we're going to start to send the right foot behind us. We're coming down into a lunge. So without looking, we're just going to trust the ground's going to be there to catch us. settling down. We sit up nice and tall. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, we're draping belly down by the thigh. Hands come to frame the left foot just so we can drop the back knee. Flip the right foot. Finding ourselves in a low lunge. We're here for 5 breaths, sending the breath down into the front of that right hip, letting everything release nice and gentle. Imagine creating this long line from your crown all the way up through the top of your head, your crown. Did I say your crown? Your tail, all the way to your crown, or crown to tail, whatever floats your boat. Close your eyes if that feels safe. One more big inhale. Long, slow exhale. Bottom of your exhale. We drop our palms, lift the back knee. Hips lift slightly as we draw the right foot back to meet the left, or in plank. We stay for the inhale. Exhale. We drop the knees, toes stay curled, hips stay lifted as we start to drop the chest right in between the elbows. Or excuse me, right in between the thumbs. Elbows stay tight to the side body, chin drops to the ground, gaze is forward. If you're like me, you're like, oh my goodness, I need to clean my floors. Exhale, we flip the feet, drop the pelvis, press into the hands, lift the chest, cobra. Exhale, drop belly, chest, then forehead, toes curl on the inhale. Exhale, we're moving our way up into tabletop, nice and gentle. We don't, unless you want to like do some power ups to plank, whatever, you can. Otherwise, keep it nice and gentle. We don't need to have anything that feels like a punishment on our body. We're here to feel good, not feel punished. Hips up high on the exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale. Exhale, right foot to right thumb. Dropping the back knee, we flip the back foot, low lunge on the other side. Five breath cycles here, letting that release. We're light on the fingertips by being firm in our foundation. So we're pressing through the front foot, the sole of the front foot, top of the back foot. Chest is open, shoulder blades are pinching together. One more breath cycle here. Bottom of the exhale, we drop the palms, lift the back knee. We're stepping back foot up to meet the right. So no toe drags, no lazy legs. We lift and pull up to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms come with us. Up overhead, palms kiss together, descend at the heart space for one breath cycle. Eyes closed maybe? Okay. Here we go. Inhale, arms come up overhead, palms flip open wide as we swan dive into our forward fold, bending at the hips. Inhale lifts us halfway. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, root to rise, rolling slowly. And then we transfer the weight into the right foot as we lift the left foot. Knee becomes in line with the hip. Ankle right underneath the knee. Chest is open, palms are facing forward. We're active in our center and active in this right leg. So right knee is engaged. We're pressing down through the right sole, lifting, pressing the earth away from us to lift out of that hip. Find something to look at, point of focus. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, we start to draw the heel closer to the hip as we start to send the foot behind us, keeping our balance. We trust that the earth is going to be there to catch us. Yeah, high lunge. Front of the left hip grows soft. Left heel grows heavy. We're still lifted in the chest, making sure that we're not compressing the low back. Inhale, arms come up overhead, biceps by the ears. Exhale, we start to float the belly over the thigh or next to the thigh. Hands come to frame the right foot as we drop the back knee, flip the back foot. Adjusting your stance if you need to. Light on the fingertips by pressing into our foundation. Long line from crown to tail. One more breath cycle. Bottom of the exhale, we drop the palms, lift the back knee, right foot comes back to meet the left in plank. We take a moment to adjust, settle. Inhale, exhale, we drop the knees, hips stay lifted as we drop the chest right in between the thumbs. Elbows are tight to the side body, gaze is forward, chin drops to the earth. Exhale, we flip the feet, drop the pelvis as we press our way up to cobra. Knees are engaged. Shoulders drop down away from the ears, chest is wide open. Big stretch in the abdomen, the front body. Exhale, we slowly fold, forehead kisses, toe curls. Exhale, gently, we press up to tabletop position. Exhale, hips up high, downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. Dropping the right knee, flipping the right foot. We come into our low lunge on the other side. If your body is structured in a way that doesn't allow you to bring your fingers all the way down to the mat, that's okay. You can bring blocks, lifting the earth up to you, or maybe you interlace the fingers up on the top of the thigh and you are doing your low lunge a little more elevated. That's okay. One more breath cycle. Exhale, we drop the palms, lift the back knee, lift the hips as we draw back foot up to meet the front, forward fold. Long exhale. Inhale, root to rise, rolling up to mountain to close out this round. Arms come up overhead, wide, palms kiss together, descend at the heart space. Eyes closed, maybe. All right, arms go down to come up. Fold in whatever way feels good for you. We'll start to make our way into our supine position, but first let's get those hips one more time. Let's heel toe, the feet as wide as the mat, toes come off the side of the mat, heels are pointing to the midline. Using our fingers as guide and support, we start to bend at the knees trace the line of the big toe as we drop the hips in between the heels. Adjusting as we need to. So maybe you need to have palms on the ground and you're a bit more elevated, maybe gently rocking side to side. Maybe you need to bring some support underneath the heels to help lift. Building the earth up to you. Or maybe we shoot the tailbone all the way down to the earth. Elbows come right to the inside of the knees. Knees squeezing and supporting the elbows. Chest begins to reach towards the thumbs, lifting so that the gaze can come forward. Again, line from crown to tail. You got this. 2 more breath cycles. If you need to come out early, that's perfect. You're listening to your body. Make sure you're paying attention to what you're saying to yourself in that moment. Exhale. We drop the hands, one in front, one behind, as we guide ourselves onto our bum. And gently start to roll back. Ooh, there we go. Knees come up to the sky when we do so. Let's close off the hips we just opened. Fingers interlace around the shins. We gently squeeze knee to chest. Maybe giving a gentle rock from side to side. And then let's find a moment of stillness. Letting the shoulders grow nice and heavy. Bottom of your next exhale, we drop the heels, toes, soles down to the mat. Knees are pointed up towards the sky, but then we start to rotate them externally, letting them fall open wide. Heels, soles, toes come together. Supta Baddha Konasana, recline bound angle. Let's bring both hands to the lower abdomen or the front of the hips, top of the thighs. Let the belly grow nice and heavy. Tailbone is either scooped up towards the ceiling, bringing the low back flush with the mat, or tailbone shoots down towards the earth, bringing a gentle rock to the pelvis and creating a back bend, a small back bend in the low back. One more inhale. Exhale, hands come to the outsides of the thighs as we gently guide the legs back together. Right knee comes towards the chest as we catch the shin. Left leg comes out long, gently squeezing right knee to right shoulder. Big inhale. Exhale, we start to guide the right leg through the midline over to the left side of the mat. Seeing how close we can get that leg to the ground. Maybe your spine is a lot more mobile than you give it credit for. We'll continue to send the breath down into the belly, getting this deep internal massage in the abdomen, internal organs. Your next exhale, we'll draw belly button to spine, activating our center as we draw the knee through the midline. Dropping the right foot to the mat, we lift the left knee, interlacing fingers around the shin, right leg sends out long as we squeeze left knee to left shoulder. Exhale, we draw left knee through the midline, taking it over to the right side of the mat. Left shoulder stays pinned down to the earth. Maybe that means you bring the left arm nice and wide at your side. One more inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine as we draw ourselves back through center. Left leg sends out long to meet the right. Hands come wide at the sides, or maybe one hand on the heart, one on the belly. Stay here in a resting posture for as long as your life will allow you today. Maybe that means you create a little room for it. Thank you for practicing with me today. And as always, take the time to thank yourself for showing up. It is one of the most difficult things that we can do, but you did it. And now you can have a beautiful rest of your day. And hopefully this carries you through the next few days or even through your week. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.